Good evening. I'm indeed delighted to be here in Calcutta, participating in the annual function of this extraordinary institution. The tagline of the institution, taking people to the next level, is indeed a task that has to be taken up seriously by every leader in the country, whether it is corporations like yours, whether it's educational institutions like Vikram's, whether it is state governments, federal government, public sector institutions, private sector institutions. The one challenge that is common to all of us is how do we get better and better value out of our people, because as you all very well know, the level of development of a nation is measured by the per capita GDP. In other words, how much value each citizen brings to the table. So therefore, I would say that the relevance of GlobeSyn does not just stop at the corporations alone, but it transcends, and then every one of the institutions will have to embrace the mantra that GlobeSyn propagates to all of us. I thank my good friend Vikram, his wonderful children, his daughter-in-law, the staff of the institutions that come under GlobeSyn, and most importantly, you, the customers, for this kind invitation, for this opportunity. And I'm truly honored. Of course, Vikram is a doyen of the IT industry. He is one of the people who in some ways started the IT industry in India. He is a very well-known entrepreneur, very successful entrepreneur, and therefore it is indeed a great privilege to be part of this function today. I thought I would speak today on creating a happy, learning and growth-focused environment in a modern organization. Not just a business organization, but any organization. I will take some examples from Infosys. These examples have worked in many situations. They perhaps have not worked in some situations, but by and large, I think these examples do have significant value. I believe, as I said before, that this topic has tremendous value to every kind of institution, just as GlobeSyn is relevant to every kind of modern institution in India. We live in extraordinary times. Never before has the macro environment been so volatile, competition so intense, opportunities so huge, and challenges so daunting. Such times, therefore, call for organizations to embrace openness to new ideas that institutions like GlobeSyn bring to the table. They have to embrace meritocracy, speed, imagination or innovation, and excellence in executing those ideas. In fact, as I often say, speed in imagination and excellence in implementing these imaginative ideas are perhaps the two most important instruments we have for surviving and succeeding in such a competitive environment. The power of mind is the most important instrument we all have in harnessing these attributes to create a bright and enduring future of our organizations. Therefore, the main strength of an organization today is the quality and commitment of its employees. That's why every leader at Infosys operates on the belief that the market capitalization of the company may be 90,000 crores or something at 9 a.m. when every one of the company's employees is working hard and smart, but it is zero when the last of our employees has gone home at night. I believe, therefore, that the biggest challenge for all of us is our ability to attract, enable, by that I mean train, empower, and retain the best and the brightest minds. This challenge is common to a software company, it is common to a manufacturing company, it is common to a public sector organization, it is common to a private sector organization. It is common to governments, whether at the state level or at the central level. Therefore, whether it is Apple or Avis, Intel or Infosys, or Microsoft or Mahindra's, the success of every one of these organizations depends primarily on this ability. Equipping to attract the right talent is the first step in building the foundation for a secure future for the organization. Infosys is known worldwide as the company that is powered by intellect and driven by values. That is our tagline, like your tagline is taking people to the next level. Therefore, our recruitment philosophy is to attract intelligent people with values. We go from technology to technology, from one application area to another. We go from culture to culture, country to country. Therefore, we operate in an environment where the only constant is change. To succeed in such an environment, an Infosian, that is an employee of Infosys, has to have high learnability and use that learnability to solve problems for our clients. We define learnability as the ability to extract generic inferences from specific instances and use them in new unstructured situations. As people who are involved in the software industry, involved in making business organizations more effective, we use analytics to quickly synthesize solutions to the problems of our clients. At the end of the day, only those of us who synthesize solutions to our clients' problems will be the ones that will survive and succeed. How do we recruit our people? We use algorithmic puzzles to test the learnability of our incoming talent. We conduct written tests for over 1 million engineers every year to select about 25,000 of them. We make sure that a candidate who has not succeeded in our tests does not take the test again for at least a year. We use technology to implement these challenges. Intellect alone is not sufficient. Intellect has to be used for the right purpose. Nuclear power can be used to generate electricity and help people, or build a nuclear bomb to destroy nations. Therefore, it is very important for us to ascertain that these bright people have a basic grounding in values. We believe in some way that values are more important than intellect. Ascertaining values is not easy in a short interview. At senior levels, the organization spends time to ascertain the value system of incoming people, but at lower levels, where we hire 25,000 engineers a year, it is obviously not possible to go through such time-consuming exercises. So we perform a thorough background check on the antecedents of every engineer selected to join the company. We spend lots of time on exposing every new entrant to the Infosys values See Live, I'll go through that later, through training classes, case studies, interaction with senior people, and most importantly, as I was telling Vikram before coming here, through leadership by example. I believe that leadership by example is the best instrument that a leader has to inculcate values in team members. In fact, if there is one urgent and imminent need in our country today to energize our people, to make this a better country, it is clearly leadership by example. Now let me get to the values of Infosys signified by the acronym C-LIFE, C-L-I-F-E. And this acronym stands for customer focus. C is for customer focus. L is for leadership by example. I is for integrity and transparency. F is for fairness. And E is for excellence in execution. I believe that people bring out their best when they believe in an aspirational purpose. When the employees of GlobeSyn walk into their offices and they see that the charter of the organization is to take people to the next level, they get inspired. They become more enthusiastic. They become more committed to the task. Therefore, such objectives make mentally and physically tired people leaving the offices in the evening to be back energetic and enthusiastic next morning to add value to the organization. In order to do this, leaders must also paint a rainbow of aspirational objectives. Everybody in the organization must believe that he or she too will get a piece of the rainbow when those objectives are indeed reached. For example, when we sat down to decide on the objectives of Infosys in 1981, I suggested respect as our main objective. My logic was very simple. If we seek respect from our stakeholders, then we would exceed the expectations of our customers. We would treat our employees with respect. We would follow the finest principles of corporate governance and transparency with our investors. We would not violate any law of the land. We would treat our vendor partners with fairness and respect, and we would live in harmony with our society. Therefore, I said that doing all these would result in healthy growth of our revenues, profits, and consequently market capitalization. I do believe that it's very important for every organization, therefore, to have a noble objective, an objective that transcends the mere profit motive. Such a noble objective would also bring respect to every individual in the corporation from their near and dear ones. It would raise their confidence, energy, and enthusiasm day after day after day. Such a noble objective must be the basis for every decision taken by every manager in the company. In other words, when we take a decision, if we ask the question, is this decision going to enhance the respect for the corporation, then we would automatically be taking the right decision. Now let me come to the next aspect, which is enabling. After we have attracted intelligent people with good values to join our company, and after we have created an environment to foster both intellect and values, we have to create an environment for fast-paced enablement. This is where good quality entry-level and continuous training programs become extremely important. At Infosys, we have created world's largest corporate training facility at Mysore with about 8 million square feet of work and hostel space, 11,300 single rooms for residential accommodation, about 500 faculty members. At Mysore, of course, 380 and 120 outside, and about 200 classrooms. Here, each new technical recruit is put through a 32-week residential program. The focus is on education and not training. Education, to me, is about learning to learn. The subjects taught include algorithmic thinking and problem solving, generic principles of algorithms, operating systems, databases, networks, software engineering, spoken and written communication, and interaction and negotiation across cultures. This is just the beginning to a career-long path of well-designed classroom and online courses based on the chosen career path of the employee. Once an employee successfully completes the foundation training program of 32 weeks, he or she joins the continuous training program scheme. Every employee is expected to undergo 2 weeks of professional development program, including technical and managerial subjects every year. Infosys has arrangements with several well-known professional societies abroad for competency certification as part of its continuous training program. People are considered for promotion only if they have fulfilled the competency requirements and have been found adequate in both skills and, in fact, more importantly, attitudes needed for the next level of responsibility. The 6-monthly open assessment by a candidate's manager is an important input in determining adequacy for promotions. Of course, the employee has the right to go to the skip level manager if he or she is not satisfied with the manager's evaluation. Leadership development is an important activity at Infosys. The Infosys Leadership Institute, located at Mysore, selects 50 Tier 1 leaders, 150 Tier 2 leaders, and 450 Tier 3 leaders every year. These leaders are trained by internal directors and senior leaders in-house. Employees have access to about 1,500 technical courses in technologies and business domains, as well as courses in soft skills. But I must admit, as I did to Vikram and his children, that we are a long way off from saying we have been successful. There are a lot of areas where we need help from competent outside experts, and therefore such experts will definitely have a very important role in making Infosys successful. Now let me come to the other aspects of making the institution a successful one. Attracting intelligent people with good values and enabling them is a necessary but not sufficient set of conditions for making them succeed in reaching lofty goals. For that to happen, you have to create an environment of meritocracy, openness to new ideas, justice and fairness, imagination, and excellence in execution. It has been argued by well-known psychologists that an empowering environment has a big role in unlocking the potential, energy, talent, and commitment of people. The environment has to create confidence and enthusiasm among employees that their ideas will indeed receive attention and will be judged on merits, that their contribution will indeed be recognized, and that there will be fairness and transparency in every decision that affects them, and finally, that the organizational leaders will indeed make these youngsters feel an inch taller in their presence. In other words, the leaders will share credit with the youngsters for the wonderful ideas that the youngsters bring to the table. Only when the youngsters feel that they will be made to feel an inch taller, only when they feel that the leaders are open to new ideas from youngsters, only when they feel that the organization is making them enhance their self-esteem, would these youngsters contribute more and more to the organization. At Infosys, people have practiced the concept of hierarchy of ideas rather than hierarchy of titles and corner rooms. All doors are always open. Anybody can send an email to the CEO. There are message boards. There are whistleblower mechanisms to address grievances of employees. And there are many platforms for employees to come together and discuss issues that matter to specific groups. In fact, Infosys offices, many visitors tell me, resemble a US university campus with laboratories, libraries, debating corners, food courts, and recreational facilities. The diversity initiative is an important platform at Infosys to enable our women professionals. Another exciting platform at Infosys is the Ideation Day, where employees below 30 years of age make presentations on ideas to improve the organization. People older than 30 will have to sit down and listen to them carefully, take down notes, and then discuss with the youngsters and hopefully implement those ideas. We have demystified innovation by explaining it as whatever anybody at any level, including a janitor, can do to make things faster, cheaper, and better. That's all what innovation is as far as Infosys is concerned. Another important factor for motivating people is the power of inclusion. Self-esteem, I believe, is an important motivator for human beings. Self-esteem improves when people's opinions are valued and they have a sense of ownership when they have great ideas. The youngsters will come running to you when they have their problems. The youngsters will be there when the organization needs them. Managers at Infosys, therefore, follow the adage, praise in public and criticize in private to keep the morale of their teams high. I would suggest that all of you practice this adage. Praise your employees, your youngsters in public, and when you want to criticize them, do it in private. That's how you will bring confidence and energy and enthusiasm to youngsters. An inclusive system, a system where you get your youngsters to participate in decision making, a system where the youngsters feel that their ideas are valued, a system where the youngsters feel that they are part of the corporation, is one that will enhance the self-esteem, energy, enthusiasm, confidence, and hope of everybody in the organization. This, I believe, will go a long way in creating an enriching environment. Institutions like GlobeSyn are on a crusade to improve the readiness of professionals to add value to the industry. They are on a crusade to take people to the next level. We need more and more such organizations in India in this extraordinary period of growth. I wish GlobeSyn the best in this endeavor. Thank you very much.